September. It's the beginning of September and it's been a month since I last put it. Sorry, this is the hop. Yeah, it's taken over the inside of the shed again. I do keep cutting it back, but it seems to quite like that. A hop harvest on the way. Go away, hop. There. Yes, it's been a month and it's been a fantastic month harvest-wise. Because I have been coming down pretty much, if not every day, every other day, just to pick, to keep on top of the picking with the raspberries, of the beans, tomatoes, blooming cucumbers, can't get enough of them. Yeah, so it has been busy, but nothing really to show you job size. So I know during that time I have filmed bits and pieces. So for example, I know there's a bit where I cleared some of my blighted tomatoes, just to show you how I do it. And yeah, I showed you me picking some beans. So that's all thrilling. But I'll take you for a look around now. I mean, it is just one of those glorious times of year, but I'll take you for a look around. I'm going to stop gabbling and we'll have a good look round. And here we have it, Bertie Blight. On the, I think this is a marmande tomato, and actually up until a few days ago there was no sign of it at all on the leaves, so I thought it was okay. I've been taking the leaves off, trying to improve the circulation, but as you can see now, I'm not going to touch it, but there are some patches on the leaves, but certainly the tomatoes are just ripening to mush, which is what we thought would happen. So, and it's a shame because look at these, look at the size of these lovely, lovely trusses. So it seems to have attacked the marmande tomatoes, you can see again down there, and the red pear tomato. Oh, look at this, oh, it's such a shame. The red pear tomatoes, which are there, but so far the crimson crush, which are at the other end, fingers crossed, look okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to concentrate on getting the ones that are immediately affected out today, and I'll show you the way I do it. So basically what I've got here is a bag full of blight. What I've done, by putting the sheet over it, I've managed to separate it immediately from the healthy tomatoes, the crimson crush, which, as I say, hopefully they'll be okay. So, and then I've pulled it all away from there. So I've been working away from the healthy tomatoes. And so I've had to make sure that I've walked around this part of the path, because if there are loads of spores flying around, I don't want me to be treading them back into the soil up there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this away straight away, go home, get changed, and then come back down and do some nice gardening. Okay, this is a couple of weeks on from the blighted plants outside, and the tomatoes in the greenhouse, fingers crossed, are still okay. So I'm actually going to leave the green ones on these and chance them for a little bit longer. Let me just swing you around and pick those that are ripe, which are the crimson crush and this beautifully coloured, let me show you, can you see that? No, golden sunrise. These are gorgeous. happy with those. Okay, so those of you who might have seen my pictures on Instagram will know how proud Mike has been of his onions this year. But I think there's been one in particular that you've been waiting to harvest, isn't there, Mike? And it's only just started to flop over, so today's the day. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's not going to win any prizes, this one, because we're not going to enter it in any competitions, but it's definitely the best onion that we've ever grown. And we're very proud of it. I'm very proud of it because we grew it from a seedling, or from seed. So it's a mammoth variety, which we bought from Seeds by Size, and we planted into trays inside the house on the windowsill round about end of January, I think, that sort of time.
Yeah,
so a bit
we were
late,
a bit late, weren't we, really?
Some people said we were too late, and then planted it into a little bed that had been enriched with a bit of fish blood and bone and some manure from the previous season. And the key thing was we just kept them clear of weeds really all season, and gave them a little bit of feed, I think probably around about 2 months before the end. Anyway, it's just flopped now, so I'm going to dig it up.
Okay.
This is our best ever onion.
Okay.
By some distance.
Hold on, let me zoom in there. I'm going to try a Spielberg zoom. Oh, I'm going to have to come round. 1 second, I can't get it in.
It's that big, this onion. Well, it's not really.
No, it's not that big, but
wow.
It's big for us. Oh! There we go. I was attempting a zoom, but...
Too late for that now.
That was it. Right, Mike. Okay.
Yeah, so basically this one here would be quite a big onion for us. We'd have been happy with a bunch of those this year.
Keep your onions still.
Sorry, I should be keeping it still. This is also a mammoth onion, but it hasn't got that big.
Yeah.
But we'd have been very happy with a bunch of those.
Okay.
But somehow,
that one.
very satisfying to have this
Wow.
this character here ready to dry out now in your little drying rack inside the shed.
Actually, it might take a while to dry out, that one, mightn't it?
Yeah, it might.
So it's going to have to be, I think that's an onion super, that one. Brilliant though. Yeah, well done, Mike.
Thank you.
The Borlottis are doing really well now. They are putting on so many beans, which of course, as you can imagine, well, if I show you, let's just go around. Might be better to show you than to, yeah, I'm sure it's a scene we're all familiar with. The actual bean frame is falling over, but I don't care because it means that we've got really lovely, juicy, luscious Borlotti beans in there. They're one of my favourite things to eat. So yeah, hopefully the frame will stay up a little bit longer and give these little sweeties a chance to bulk up a bit, and we should have a decent harvest of delicious Borlotti beans. I thought it was about time I put aside a special part of the day to come down and crop the peas. So here we go. There we are. They haven't even got peas in them. I think that's all we're going to get this year. Yeah. Pea harvest 2017 minus the peas. Will you just look at this beauty? Not sure what it is. I think it's a Hubbard squash. As I've said before, really looking forward to it. Look at the shape. It's like, it is like a teardrop shape, but yeah, there's my hand. And that is a good weighty squash. It's, oh, I might just turn it a little bit. I'm so worried about turning it because I don't snap anything. It's doing so well. But I just want to let that bit dry out a little bit as well. Lift off the ground a bit. Look at that. Really looking forward to eating that. And if we look under the leaves, we have got 3 little princes in a row here. Look at this. First time growing crown prince. Oh, I hope that's not important. No. 1, 2, 3. All nestled in together, doing really well. Now here's the thing. Literally, here's the thing. As I say, some of these plants we were given by someone who just said they're squash. This plant has so far produced about, well, this is about the 5th one, and each of the others has rotted. In some way it's rotted. Now this one seems to be okay so far, but look, see what I mean? Ah, it's starting to go mushy there, see? I don't know what it is. Mike seems to think it's some sort of melon. And I know quite a lot of you have grown melons out there this year, but I don't know, what do you think? Something's got mixed up with our squashes. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. I was a bit worried at this end, to be honest, because it only looks small. The corn only looks small at this end, but look at that. That's beautiful, actually. Not the fattest cob, but if you look, that, every kernel there is pollinated. If you look here, you'll see evidence of a beetroot-loving mouse. Well, at least I think that's what it is, because most of our beetroot this year have been nibbled. If they've got the tops popping out the soil, they've been nibbled. So I've had a good look through, and hopefully, I'm thinking this one, I think it must have been quite full by the time it got to this, or, no, it is a beetroot. Let's just have a look. Give that a pull. Yay! Got to that one before the mouse. Just wanted to show you the English mace here as an example of the herbs that I gave quite a severe haircut about 6 weeks ago now. Most of them are putting on a second flush of flowers, and what's great about this, I mean, I don't use English mace, I don't really know the uses of it, and I'm sure they have got culinary and medicinal ones, but for me these flowers are perfect to go in between the more blousy ones that we all favour, so like the dahlias and the zinnias. These make perfect fillers, which you pay a fortune for in the shops. You get that Gisophily, if that's how you say it. And it costs a fair penny just to bulk up your bouquet. So yeah, consider growing things like that to stick in with your big flowers as well. It's lovely stuff and it smells beautiful. I know it's the end of the cucumber season now, but the good old Market Moor have done so much better than these lemon cucumbers, which, you know, they're novelty. They're good when you first start, as in at the beginning of the season, but at the moment they're just all coming out a bit ropey. And actually there's been a fair amount of, let me show you this one, a fair amount of rot on them. So again, that could just be it's the end of the season, but look, when you look through the leaves, and now the blinking cucumbers popping out at you. Here we go, Market Moor. And like I say, these have been completely, I don't think it wants to come, completely neglected this year. I'm just left to get on with things, but it's difficult to do that without it looking rude. There we go. But yeah, they've done great. Oh look, there's everywhere you look. There's another one. I'll go and get that in a minute. Yeah, but they do fine outside, so that's where they're going to go next year. So for this one, I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a mishmash really, because I have been filming, as I say, bits and pieces over the weeks, and hopefully I'll try and get it together in one sort of manageable package. Lord knows how long it's going to be this time, but it must be about, it's getting on for 6 o'clock now, and when you think really the last time I videoed, I was sort of staying down 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. The time before that, you know, I was down here about, sorry, pigeon, down here till about 10:15, 10 o'clock some evenings. So yeah, there really is that back to school and end of season feeling. And I know this is going to make me sound like a right old hippie, which I think, to be honest, I am, but something to be said for doing the garden, and you know, whatever you do, if you're in touch with things outside, you're in touch with nature, you're growing things, it really, really does make you very much aware of the seasons changing. And so, yeah, there is a bit of a nip in the air. There is a bit of, you know, you look at the mist on the fields, and, you know, I absolutely love it. I love autumn. I love all the gathering and the foraging and the harvesting, and being able to light fires again at night, you know. And anyway, going on. So, yeah, when you are in touch with things like that, I think it's quite grounding. I think it's being in touch with the ground is grounding. So I'll show you what I've done. Oh, mind you, saying that, the worry then is we're going to have to keep our ears peeled, ears open for the weather forecast now, because we've still got quite tender stuff out, and it won't be too long, I don't think, before we start getting frost. So I'll show you what I've got today. Actually, it doesn't look like I've got a huge bounty, although to be honest, because this is what I'm doing every day or two, I'm coming and doing a big harvest. I can't tell you how many of these beans I have blanched and bagged up, but we've certainly got enough to see us going on for a few months. I'm actually starting to pick them quite small now, because I'm finding sort of end of the harvest, they're getting a bit stringy. So I'm either picking them small or I'm leaving them on to get the seeds in, as I am with the standard scarlet, what's it called? I want to say Scarlet Pimpernel. You know the one I mean. The runner bean, I'm just leaving them on to use the beans. The borlotti beans the same, and the pea beans the same. So I will have lots of pulses to dry over the winter, and certainly plenty of French beans in the freezer to see us through. So we've got those. Blooming cucumbers, eh? Not big, but really, you know, you pick 10 at a time, and again, they're just sort of being left on the floor now. So got them, got that very silly little one, little lemon cucumber, a few tomatoes, sweet corn. This has been delicious. I think I had filmed a bit where I was actually opening one of them. Really, really well pollinated this year, and so sweet. These will get eaten up, if not tonight, certainly for lunch tomorrow. And yeah, these weird little fellas, you know, I don't know. What can you say? Talk about misshapen carrots, but that's what they're supposed to look like. They are meant to be bigger than that. I think I've missed a trick there. I think I needed to dig down a bit more. So there are a few big ones, but that's something to look at again next year. Yes, onions. This is the one that Mike's most proud of. The smell, actually the smell is beautiful. But bloomin' heck, I'd never realised shop bought onions, yes, they make your eyes water, but bloomin' chopping an onion that's not long been out of the ground. And I mean, even ones that look like they've dried off. Oh my goodness me, I think I am going to have to find some goggles somewhere, because it's painful. I mean, people think it's hilarious, but it's quite painful. Anyway, I know that the lovely chap over on Allotment Grow How, on his channel, he's been doing a bit of an onion challenge, not a giant onion, a big onion challenge. And I don't know if this would qualify or not. I know it's not huge. It's big for us. We didn't get any onions last year, we got about 3. But we're really pleased with that. The last time I saw him measure one of his, it was 12 inches diameter. And I think I can just get my finger, actually I can't. I don't know. I will measure it
And if I remember, I'll pop it on at the end after the credits go up at the end. But yeah, dead pleased with that. Don't know how long that's going to take to dry out, probably a year. But yes, onions there. We've still got loads of onions in the shed. And then one of these little things that's just such a lovely surprise. I'm a terrible one for just dumping stuff in pots and just leaving them and forgetting about them. And I did that with this, and I found it the other day. I noticed that all the green leaves are coming, and I thought, it's too late for anything to flower now. What on earth can it be? And actually, for once, I had a label in Acidanthera or Acidanthera, whichever it is, and it's got the most beautiful flower. Oh, no, it stuck it up my nose. And the most fantastic scent. I mean, it has only got one flower, but apparently it's a cousin of the gladioli, and also a cousin of crocosmia, which you can tell by if you look at this. But I think it was grown in the open ground. It grew to about 2.5, 3 feet. And it's meant to be, when you get plenty of flowers, it's meant to be an absolutely fantastic smell. So I am going to take that home as a crop and put it in my back garden where I can appreciate it daily. And, oh, last thing, raspberries. Again, I'm picking every day. Today I've only got that amount, but that's fine. I'm literally taking them home, putting them on a tray in the freezer for a few hours or overnight. I'm bunging them in those huge Ziploc bags. And yeah, they're building up quite nicely. So until I'm ready to start making the jam, they're done. I've got these golden raspberries here. I don't know if you can see that from there. I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. They look nice and they look good mixed in, but yeah, not a fan. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, but the most important thing, the thing I'm most excited about eating, and I've been excited seeing it grow, is behind my back. Hold on. I can't even bring it around. Look at this! Look at this beautiful, unexpected treat. We planted, I think I've commented on it as we've gone along, we've planted Crown Prince squash. We were given some unknown, just winter squash, that's all we knew, and they've turned out to be butternut, which is great because we had no butternut last year. They're quite small, so I don't know if they're baby butternut or not, but it's about 6 on a plant, so maybe that's all they're going to grow. But yeah, but then this thing came up, and at first we thought it was a pumpkin, but with the shape of it and everything, and the colour, and it's got these little stripes on. People have said it's maybe a Hubbard squash, or something like that, and it's meant to have the most beautiful, beautiful flavour. And I've got to say, I was turning it the other day to sort of try and sort of lift a bit off the ground, and it did come off, which I was a little bit worried about. But actually, if I do the thumbnail test, if you stick your nail in and it sort of really, really hard, it doesn't go in very well, that means it's cured, it's ready. And yeah, that's pretty much done. Although I will keep it for a few weeks, and I shall look forward, before I use it, before I cook it, I shall look forward to eating that. I'll let you know how it goes. But look at the colour. That is the colour of autumn, surely. I mean, the sun's gone and it's quite dull now, but that is the colour of autumn to me. Anyway, yeah, that's my shopping done for the day. Fancy being able to go to your own private shop, organic, almost, and just go back with all this lovely stuff. It's just beautiful, and that's why we do it. I've realised that I've been doing my waffle again for, oh my goodness, I'm on for 10 minutes again. So I am just going to tell you quickly, we cooked a meal for friends last week, and did like a Mexican mix and match, all sorts of stuff. And I just came down here and picked chilies and garlic. Well, we had garlic, onions, tomatoes, cucumbers. It was so nice. Potatoes. It was so nice to be able to just actually use this stuff and, you know, and be able to produce this beautiful meal. Anyway, I am going on. I will stop now. I will continue harvesting, as I'm sure you all are as well. And yeah, hopefully see you a little bit sooner than the next month now, because I do want to do a little video on foraging. There's plenty of foraging to be done this time of year, so yeah, that season's coming up on us very, very quickly. Already we're getting elderberries in and plums and things like that. So yeah, I'll try and do something on that, and hopefully it won't be too long before I see you again. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry again if it's taken a bit longer than normal, but there you go. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Ooh.
Woohoo! It's a 15-incher.